Welcome back guys to another episode of Nubs. Today marks the first entry into a new series on the channel. Today we're going to give you our picks for the top 5 UFO encounters ever recorded. Each year thousands of UFOs light up the skies across the world, with over 3,000 sightings recorded in 2019 alone. The National UFO Reporting Center in the United States maintains a record of the number of UFOs reported each year, and many of these sightings are often overlooked and explained away. However, sometimes some UFO reports are so unbelievable that the experts can't explain them, even to this day. Let's begin. Number 5. The Battle of Los Angeles. On February 25th, 1942, United States forces detected an unidentified flying object hovering above the city of Los Angeles. Searchlights scoured the sky until an aircraft was detected. At the time, no United States aircraft was supposed to be in the LA airspace. Still rattled from the recent attack on Pearl Harbor, ground troops were immediately ordered to open fire on the mysterious craft. An estimated 1,400 anti-aircraft shells were pumped into the air as surrounding residents looked on in fear. The battle ensued for several hours with over 1,000 ballistic munitions fired into the sky. They hit nothing. Then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, the unidentified craft disappeared. Over the years, several experts have tried to discredit the incident, citing war nerves coupled with conspiracy theorists exaggerating the truth as possible explanations. In addition, the blame for the ensuing panic was blamed on the 203rd Coast Artillery Regiment, who had allegedly released 2 weather balloons from Douglas Aircraft Plant in Santa Monica. This is, however, widely disputed, with no substantiating evidence to suggest this to be the case. It was also believed that the weather balloons of that age could not have been able to climb high enough to avoid anti-aircraft artillery. Numerous first-hand accounts paint a story of terror, with many eyewitnesses getting a good glimpse of the craft. High-ranking military officials present would determine that this was neither a weather balloon or any known human aircraft. The fact that this incident is not only well documented, but also has credible eyewitnesses along with photographic evidence, earns its place at number 5. Number 4. Roswell. Perhaps the most famous UFO encounter ever recorded. In July 1947, a rancher by the name of William Mac Brazel, near the town of Roswell, New Mexico, reported craft wreckage on his ranch to his local sheriff. Earlier reports had previously stated that a flying disc had been seen flying across the state of New Mexico. Because of the existence of these reports, the sheriff told Brazel to keep this information confidential. The sheriff then contacted the Roswell Army Airfield, who then collected the debris from the ranch and told Brazel to keep the incident under wraps. However, unnerved by the incident, Brazel decided the public needed to know about the possibility of visitors from another world and informed the local newspapers. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Daily Record newspaper released an article in which they stated an RAAF high-ranking military official had announced they had captured a flying saucer. From here, witnesses came forward, with medical officers at the Roswell Army Airfield later saying that the bodies had been recovered from the crash site, describing them as childlike in size, with oversized heads and eyes, with no noticeable ears or mouth. At the time, the release of this story created a huge amount of unease and led to panic across the state. In order to ease the public, a new report was released almost immediately, stating that the military did not capture a crashed alien ship, but had actually retrieved the wreckage of a weather balloon. Many people discredit the idea of a weather balloon and point to a government cover-up. In 1994, the US military finally admitted that they had covered up the true nature of the crash, stating that it was in fact a next-generation spy weather balloon being tested in order to spy on the Soviet Union during the Cold War. This has only enhanced the UFO theories, showing a continuation of lies and deceit by the US military, and earns its spot at number 4. Number 3. The Phoenix Lights. On March 13, 1997, the skies of Phoenix, Arizona, Nevada, and the Mexican state of Sonora experienced one of the most otherworldly phenomena to ever be recorded. Between the hours of 7:30 and 10:30 p.m., hundreds of people called local police stations in order to report strange lights seen across the night sky. Many people reportedly described a strange V-shaped like craft hovering and moving slowly across the state of Arizona. The initial reports of the craft were reported in Prescott Valley, in Arizona, with witnesses saying that the object must have been solid as it blocked out most of the night sky. Later that night, 100 kilometers away from Prescott Valley, in the city of Phoenix, reports began to flood in as hundreds of witnesses saw a strange formation of lights in the air. One witness had this to say: "I'll never be the same again. If anybody had told me that they saw a UFO, I'd have said, yeah, and I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Now I've got a whole new view, and I may just be a dumb truck driver, but I've seen something that don't belong here." What makes this case so credible is that even to this day, a consensus has not been reached on what caused the phenomenon, With so much video and photographic evidence, along with the hundreds of witnesses, it earns a well-deserved spot in our top 5. Number 2. The Rendlesham Forest Incident, also known as the English Roswell. Perhaps the most well-known British UFO encounter ever recorded. December 26, 1980. A patrol near the east gate of the RAF Woodbridge base in Suffolk, England, noticed a series of strange lights in the early hour morning sky descending into the nearby Rendlesham Forest. The object had been previously spotted on radar before visual confirmation by patrolling officers. Initially, they thought it was a downed aircraft and were dispatched to the scene. However, what they found would change their lives forever. At the time, United States Air Force personnel were stationed at the RAF base. Amongst them was the Deputy Base Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt. Holt notoriously kept a voice recorder on him at all times in order to record events throughout the day. He was among the group that approached the assumed crash site. In his recordings, he stated that when he and his squad reached the site, they were greeted by a strange, triangular-shaped craft, glowing with strange markings on its metallic surface. They estimated the craft to be 10 feet across and 8 feet wide, with 3 legs propping it up, and as the soldiers approached it, these legs retracted and the UFO easily maneuvered through the trees. The officers chased the craft into a nearby field, where it abruptly shot upwards and shined brilliant lights down upon them. It was at this point all witnesses lost consciousness. When they came round, they were back in the forest and surrounded by other troops that had been sent for search and rescue. The next day, a team entered the forest and found burn marks in the ground from where it had rested, and measured unusual levels of radiation in the surrounding land. Although critics have often tried to discredit the incident, every officer involved still maintains they came into contact with a craft from another world, even to this day, earning its spot at number 2. Number 1. The US Navy's UFO Encounters Report. Co-founder and member of the popular rock band Blink-182, Tom DeLonge is an avid UFO enthusiast and advocate for the full disclosure movement, which aims to inform the public of all UFO and extraterrestrial files the governments of the world may be in possession of. In 2017, the company, To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, founded by the rock star, released this shocking video to the world press.
Echo 61 Tango, Roger, Roger.
Oh, got it! Woohoo!
Roger, there's troubleshooting.
What the fuck is that? Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly! Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them, look on the ASA.
The video was captured by an FA-18 Super Hornet jet, and at the time the aircraft possessed the most advanced targeting and tracking system of any fighter jets on the planet. The video clearly shows the appearance of an unidentified flying object which appeared disc-like in nature. Initially, the video was brandished a hoax, with little evidence to support the claims that this was in fact a real UFO encounter. However, in April 2020, the United States military released files that they had been collecting for years on unexplained aerial phenomenon, and whether or not they pose a national threat. Amongst the files disclosed appeared the video released by To the Stars, finally confirming the validity of the video. Many UFO enthusiasts believe this to be one of the most important pieces of evidence to suggest that governments know more than we know about the existence of UFOs and extraterrestrials. The fact that this video was released several years ago, initially branded a hoax, later to be verified at the very top level as a bona fide UFO encounter by the US military, means that the only place on our list for this incident was number 1. Do you agree with our order? Perhaps you think some of the incidents on our list deserve to be higher up. Maybe you think we've missed something off our list. Please, sound off in the comments and let us know. Please remember to like and subscribe, and remember, until next time, always question everything.